see if I can, whoops, see any questions. Somebody just said, Miss Tina, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. All right, so we're here to help answer any questions and welcome you to Davis. We're looking forward to seeing you on Halloween. Perfect. So please let me know, Mary know, we're here to answer any questions. So I have a first question that says, my concern is about the transportation in Davis. Can you give us a little explanation about that? So when you arrive at the airport, we are going to have a bus waiting for you and we'll pick you up. And then it'll bring you to your host family. Or actually, it's going to bring you to the university. And your host family will come here to pick you up. And many of the people rent bicycles here in Davis, and there are lots of different, we'll give you information about that once you're here. The first day, your family will actually bring you here. So the 31st of October, which is your first day of class, your family will bring you here and drop you off, and they'll probably pick you up too. There are buses in Davis. On the first day, we will take pictures and we will give you an ID card. And on the ID card with your picture, that ID card also works as the bus pass. So you don't have to pay anything extra. It's already covered and you'll be able to take a bus. The buses are very convenient. They pass convenient for California and United States. Not like Colombia where you just put your hand out and you catch a bus. Here you go to the bus stop and every half hour it comes by and we have a whole schedule for you and you'll be able to see what time, what bus stop, where you need to be and all of that. And then the bus will drop you off about a block away from...
Even I see them dropped off right...
Yeah. So the bus will drop you off very close to where we are at the university.
And some host families, I'm not sure if we know, but some host families may be in Woodland, which is in a city about 15 miles from here. And so there will be a bus there that will bring you to Davis. And then you'll also have the opportunity to rent bicycles once you've arrived.
So the next person, I'm getting our thing from here. Okay, so the next person asked, is this it? No. Here it is. About the schedule, what your schedule will look like. So I have a copy of the schedule right here. Let's see if you can see it. Right here. Let's see, does that work? So you can see that we have 4 sections, and the first class starts at 8:30 for everybody. See, 8:30, 8:30, 8:30. We're going to have the TEFL classes going in the morning. One will be 8:30 to 9:45. The other one will be from 9:55 to 11:10. Those are the 2 TEFL classes. And then you're going to have an ESL class at 11:20. You're going to have lunch, and then you're going to have another ESL class. So some will have reading, some will have listening the first hour, the second hour, but it's basically the same. And everyone has lunch at the same time. And then you'll have two of the groups will have class with me. You see there? Whoops. There we go. On Mondays, and some will have class with me on Wednesdays. Whoops. My fingers. It's like the opposite. Everything's going the opposite. Anyway, you can see there. Okay. And then some of you will have portfolio classes in the afternoon. I mean, you all will. Some will have them on different days. And you'll also have a day one day a week where you're going to go to our International Learning Center. So basically your classes will end either at 3:30 or at 4:40. And then after that, we have different activities that we offer the students. Pretty much every day there's going to be an activity that you can participate in. The activities usually go from 4:30 to 5:30, and then there are some special activities too. I can show you the calendar behind me.
So you will have a full schedule. You will be busy.
And then, of course, you're at a university which has all kinds of things happening. But you can see for the month of November, camera kind of center it, there's practically something going on every day. I'm going to kind of go the opposite way here. There we go.
If you remember, Tina shared with us those schedules, and I share them with you through our manual. So refer to your manual and check out the schedule, and if anything has changed on that schedule, Tina can share it to me, and I share it to you through me. So Tina can give it to me, and I will place it on the platform, on the Google platform that we are using.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And the next question is, when can we know about our host families? And that depends on the payment with Fulbright and the host family provider, because they said that they could provide the family names and information once it was paid, right, Felipe? So that part we don't personally do. We have a provider.
The provider is Wise, and Wise is going to give that information to me about a week before your immersion program. So I will share it to you about a week before your immersion program.
Okay, perfect. And then the next question is, are there some things that I can do, or that I can't do in California that I do in my country?
Maybe no smoking on campus?
No smoking on campus. UC Davis, like all of the UC campuses, so there are 10 campuses, UCLA, Berkeley, Irvine, Riverside, San Diego, there are 10 campuses. And in 2014, in January, the president of all the universities started a new law for us, or a new policy, saying that there was no smoking on the campus. So if anybody smokes there, you're going to have to go into town. And
the other thing is that at our student health center, they will give you free nicotine patches to put on to try to help your smoking craving until after class, because you have kind of a full day, and they offer that for free. So all you have to do is go to the student health center and ask for nicotine patches, and they'll give it to you.
And pretty much everything else is kind of the same. Things that you can't do, I don't know. You should be able to, everything else is pretty much the same. I can't think of anything. Maybe if you have a specific thing that you're concerned about, you can ask. This was Jose somebody, yeah, Jose Wilson maybe. So how is a day at Davis, at UC Davis? Well, your schedule will kind of decide part of that for you. And then, of course, there are the afternoon activities if you want to participate. The one activity that everybody seems to love is the Friday afternoon. It'll be perfect because it'll be right around your lunchtime. It's the ice cream social. Mm-hmm. I would say that's what the students most love. So, but in the evenings, Davis is a small town. It's a college town. So it's great for concentrating on your studies. It's great for doing your homework.
Not a lot of clubs and dancing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, not lots of things
kind
going
of quiet in that way.
And what's really different is a lot of families have dinner right at 5:30. Right?
Sometimes 6.
maybe
It
6.
just depends, yeah.
I mean, in my family, we eat around 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But most people in the United States eat around 5:30. So I think that's a really big difference, which kind of changes things, because if you want to go out and have something to eat, most restaurants are closed like by 9:30, 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a big difference.
Yeah. On the weekends, they're probably open a little bit later. And the other thing is there are some weekend field trips I think you'll have the opportunity to sign up for that are kind of over and above at your own expense. And so that might be something else to do too. The other thing is you can use your bus pass to go to Sacramento if you want to look at around the Capitol building, and then Old Sacramento, which is a kind of like the Wild West with shops, and it's right by the river, and that's kind of a fun thing to do too. You can do on the weekends, or I suppose in the evening too, but you'll probably wait till the weekends. I think you'll be busy during the week.
And I think you're going to be busy. At least last year's group was still doing even though they weren't teaching their students, they were still correcting, and they were still working with the substitute teacher who was taking over their classes. And they had a lot to do in the evenings as well, not just their homework for their classes here, but also the other. So I think you'll be busy, but I think Davis kind of is small enough, and people are on their bicycles and walking around. So at the university, there's a lot of there are activities, there are concerts, there are films, there are different things going on, speakers. So, if you pay attention to all of that and look online, you can find out what's happening and maybe get involved in some of those things too.
And there's also a nice downtown area which is very close to the campus, and they're nice. There's restaurants, bookstores, movie theaters, and it's a nice place to walk around at night. I mean, we always recommend at least 2 people together, but it's a nice downtown area. It's well lit, and that's a nice place to go to in the evenings and on weekends too.
And another thing is, I don't know if you guys remember when we had a change in time schedule. I think it was with Gaviria. This was a few years back. We had a time schedule. Well, in California, the time schedule is going to change the weekend after the Halloween week. So you're going to see the light switching a lot. And what happens is, since we're further north, Colombia is right on the equator practically, so you kind of have the same time for when the sun rises and when the sun goes down all year long. Here in the summer, it gets dark around 9:30 in the evening in June, at the end of June. And then in the winter, the days get shorter. So all of a sudden, December 22nd, for instance, which is our shortest day, it gets dark at 4:30 in the afternoon, and it gets light, around 7 in the morning. So what they do is, after Halloween, because the kids go out and ask for candy and all that, and they don't want it to be too dark, after the 31st, so like on the Saturday night before Sunday, all of a sudden the time is going to change, and we call it fall back. So it's going to go back an hour. So you're going to go from maybe 6 o'clock, it starts getting lighter, to 7 o'clock in the morning, it gets light. Right?
And it gets dark then about,
and then instead of
5:30 maybe in the afternoon.
Instead of 6:30, it's going to start getting dark at 5:30, and then the days keep getting shorter until they start getting longer again after December 22nd. So that's something that's going to be different for you guys. The next question says, can you give some advice for driving? I'm not sure exactly how driving works, but I have heard that, I thought that you had to have an international license.
That's what
And I'm not sure if you still have to have an international license, or you can use your Colombian license to rent a car. And if you're 25 or older, you can rent a car here. So that's what I know.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Jose. That was Jose. Have you already chosen the families? this is Alvaro. We don't do that. So I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I'm supposing that they've chosen the families already. And then someone's asking, how much does it cost to rent a bike? That's Juan Carlos.
I think we were just talking about that today, and we don't know exactly.
Maybe
for 3 weeks. I'm thinking it's about $100 for a month. So for
a little bit less, maybe.
Yeah, maybe $75, $80 for 3 weeks. I don't know for sure, but and we learn about. Oh, thank you.
Oh, and somebody just heard
at
us
the
and brought us the bike
time.
information.
Okay, so
$100 for a month in one place with $20 for a helmet. Another one says $120 a week with a helmet and a lock included.
yeah, and so here's one, $60 for the first week, $20 for each additional week, so that's $120. So maybe it's more like $100.
So you'll get a sheet like this when you come. We'll give you a sheet like this, and it has a lot of different options, and then you can choose which one you would like. Okay?
And we also do, as part of the orientation, about bike rules and bike safety, because there are so many bikes in Davis, and we don't want anybody to get hurt. And the police will give you a ticket if you don't follow the rules, and the tickets are over $100. So we really talk about bike safety because we want you to be safe and be able to follow the rules. So we'll talk about that on the first day as well.
They have sent a question that they ask a lot in here, and it is, how much does the tour to Los Angeles cost?
The tour to Los
It
Angeles.
depends. That is done through a company we call it's USA Study Tour, and or California Tours, and that depends on how many people are in a room. So and they take the bus down there. They have, I believe, 2 nights there. Do we have that field trip information? I don't know. If I don't have that, but that will be something that you will get. Yeah, that one that's Thanksgiving weekend. But wait, when they leave they leave on the 19th.
They've gone before. So it's
Yeah.
something that we'll have to set up depending on how many want to do
Right,
it.
it would have to be set up by us. It would be a special tour from that tour company because we don't have a planned trip during that time.
So the first day we'll talk about that too, and have you sign up if you want to do the LA trip so that we can have California Tours set it up for you. And sometimes it's a longer tour and they take 4 days when there's a holiday, but unfortunately,
yeah, the tour that we have planned through our other programs is the following weekend after you're gone.
right. And there is a Veterans Day on the 11th, so I was thinking that if anyone wanted to go, that would give you 1 extra day to go to LA because it takes a while to drive down and come back.
Yeah.
So we'll have all that information when you come, depending on how many of you want to go. Do you want to sleep 2 to a room, 3 to a room, 4 to a room? They usually have big beds, and so if people share, the more people share, the cheaper it is. Yeah. So the next question is, could we talk about the weather? The weather, it changes. Right now it's changing. So we were at 90 degrees, which in Celsius is about 41 degrees. It's pretty dry, but it was about 41 degrees. That was last Monday. And by Friday this week, they say it's going to be 67, 68, which is similar to Bogota weather. So, maybe, what is that?
I don't know. So
it's hard for me to make a transition.
But not cold and not hot. But it's supposed to rain.
Wear a sweater.
Yeah.
It's going to start raining. Usually it doesn't start raining till November,
Yeah.
but they're saying it's going to rain Friday and Saturday this week, which is shocking. So, but the weather starts going down. You're going to come at a beautiful time when the colors of the trees are starting to change. The trees are starting to lose their leaves, and so you have a lot of red and burgundy color and bright yellow and gold. A lot of those colors in the trees, as well as some green still, because some of the trees stay green.
And it tends to be cool in the morning and cool during the night, and then it gets
Warmer.
nice during the day. I mean, a long sleeve shirt is fine, maybe even short sleeve by the time the sun comes up. There's a lot of, even though we're entering kind of our rainy season, there's still a lot of sunshine. And so
Because we're in sunny California.
so, but it is the beginning of our rainy time, so definitely bring an umbrella and shoes, that
For the rain.
for the rain.
Yeah, and it can get cold. I mean, some of the teachers last year, coming from the coast, Monteria, Barranquilla, they were pretty cold.
Yes,
And
definitely
they were
bring a
wearing
jacket.
they looked like snow bunnies, fur all around them. So for some
Definitely
people it
bring
gets
a
cold.
jacket.
Plus, the classrooms and the rooms in general are usually kept fairly cool. So you'll almost always need like a sweater sitting in the classroom, right? So a lot of times you'll need a sweater. All right, so some tips to take advantage of this experience academically speaking. Well, lots of tips. I would say one would be to try and always speak to each other in English. Because you're here for such a short time, if when you're together you're speaking in Spanish, you're not going to be taken advantage and it's not going to be as much of an immersion. And I know it's hard to do that when you know someone speaks Spanish already. You just want to fall into Spanish. It's easier. But really use these 3 weeks, because last year we had a 4-week program and it felt so short. So 3 weeks is just going to fly by. So I would say take advantage of that. Take advantage of the fact that you're here and do the kinds of things that you can't do in Colombia. Do them here. And take advantage of the fact that you can talk to people on the street, you can talk to people in the stores, you can talk to people at the farmer's market. We have a farmer's market here in Davis. So go on Wednesday nights and on Saturday mornings and talk to the farmers and talk to the people around you. And don't be shy, because sometimes we kind of go, oh, but, if I make a mistake and maybe they won't understand me, don't worry about it. That's why you're here, to see, well, how good is my English, and can I defend myself, and can I make myself understood? And if you don't try, you won't know, right? And it's only trying that you can say, oh, well, next time I'm definitely going to use this word instead of that word, or I'm going to say it like this, or, So, and all of the things that you do here, you can always use as experiences to then share and tell your students, your colleagues. So one of the tips I always tell you guys the very first day is take notes. Write a journal.
That's what I was
at
just
night.
gonna say. Yeah.
What was good about today? What did I learn today? And kind of, you're going to be sacrificing 3 weeks of your life back home, and some of you are leaving your kids, your husbands, your wives, your families, your students. You're leaving a lot of people there. I know it's only 3 weeks, but 3 weeks can be a long time if you have, depending on what your situation is. And then they're sacrificing too for you to be here. So take advantage, do things that you wouldn't be able to do back home. Do them, practice your English in all the different senses that you can, and then at night write it down. What did I do that was really important and I couldn't have done back home? So find situations where you can experience things that then you'll be able to take back with you. Many of the things that you experience when you're doing it here, you're going to be like, oh, this is just whatever. And then when you go home, you're going to go, oh, I remember when this happened, and now it becomes a special experience, special memory that you.
And also, if you write something down, when you first come to a country, it's like I say you see something with new eyes. So the very first day you're going to be, certain things will surprise you or be unexpected or that sort of thing. But very soon it becomes more common.
Every day.
Yeah. And so you don't have that same kind of, oh my gosh, that's so interesting that that person said or did that. And so it's really good to write it down, and then you can look back weeks and months from now and say, oh, I remember when I felt that way and I was so surprised, because you kind of lose it once you get acclimated, used to being in a certain place. So I think that's why it's a good idea to write things down too, because you forget, and then it will seem normal fairly quickly. So like from the ride home, right off the bat, what from the airport, what things surprise you? Things are very brown here. It's not green and lush right now because we haven't had any rain in months. So it is very brown. But
And we're in the middle of a drought,
Yeah.
too, so very different from most of Colombia. Maybe it's more similar to Guajira. It's drier. Okay, so somebody else says, what about the evaluation process while taking these courses? So each teacher is going to do it a little bit differently. Again, we only have 3 weeks. We're going to do a set of assessments at the beginning, and we're going to do the same ones at the end, different versions, but same kind of thing, so we can rate you and see how much you've improved. Fulbright, Ministry of Education, and the embassy want to see. And I've always said, in 3 weeks, people don't improve that much, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it anyway. So that's going to be part of your evaluation. But the teachers will also be checking. And one of the things that they're going to have you do also in your portfolio class is to actually put together a portfolio. And another thing we're going to be doing is an action research project that hopefully then you can take back and implement when you're back home in your classes. And the embassy has given us, or not given us, but they've sent us what they call a traveling case. And so what they've said is, if you use their traveling case information to put together your action research project, they will in turn, when you arrive back in Colombia, give you a case. Each one of you will get a case. And then you can use that also to implement in your classes. So that's going to be, portfolio is one of the ways that we're going to be evaluating you and your project and your presentations, because you're going to have a poster session in pairs that you're going to, that's going to show what you learned and what you're going to try and implement when you go back to Colombia. So that's going to be another way we're going to evaluate. And then your teachers will be evaluating you.
doing little lessons, demonstrating lessons.
And quizzes, and part of what
Talking
you're going to do is
together, yeah.
peer teaching too.
Teachers.
So you're going to be doing a lot of different things, and they're going to be emulating what they want you to do when you go back home, and the kind of assessments and evaluations that the field is using these days, kind of updated things. Okay. And then there was an okay thanks from Gloria, I think. I'm interested in taking the TOEFL exam there. Could you give me, if that's possible? So it's actually not possible for our special programs to take the TOEFL test that we offer as a paper-based, which isn't the official one. It would probably be difficult for you to sign up for the TOEFL IBT test while you're here, because you have to sign up months in advance, and then it's over in Sacramento and Fair Oaks.
Yeah.
So that's probably not going to happen while you're here. Okay.
I want to complement that answer.
Yes.
The teachers are presenting a TOEFL ITP exam before and after they return, and it is as valid here in Colombia as it is the IBT TOEFL.
Perfect.
So, you're gonna have, you already had a chance to present the TOEFL ITP, and you're gonna have the chance to go over the score you already have once you get back here. So with all the improvement your English is going to get, I hope the score is going to be better than the ones you already have.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And that's through Fulbright, right? Yeah, that's through Fulbright. All right, so it says, what about the tours the university offers to the students? So for the weekends that you'll be here, we're going to take you to San Francisco, and I believe that's the first
The 5th.
Saturday.
Yeah.
That's the 5th. Whoops. This day here, oh my goodness, it's so hard to, it's like the opposite,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to, is that right?
So, oops.
See how
There.
hard that is?
Yeah, yeah.
So that day we're going to be going to San Francisco. The next weekend, the plan is to go ice skating on Saturday if you'd like to go. And then, but that's the weekend that I was thinking if you want to go to Los Angeles, that would be the thing to do then. And then the last weekend, you guys are leaving on the 19th at midnight. But there is another trip planned to San Francisco if you wanted to go back again and come back and then
You're
take
back
off
in
to
time, but I'm not
take off
sure.
to the airport.
I'm not sure when you'd be getting back. So
That'd be a little
probably
hard.
Not a good idea.
But you'll see that on the 6th, Sunday the 6th, and also Sunday the 13th, there's nothing planned. So you could set up something where you go. Maybe you rent a car or something, and you can take off. Then we have other things like. We have a special workshop on Tuesday, the 1st of October. It's 3 to 4, so you probably, or November, you might have a class then, but there's a special, what is that, like a workshop on TOEFL tips. And then there are bingo games and volleyball and softball and soccer, different karaoke night. There's a karaoke night, and then
the international
our favorite
festival.
thing, and we set up your dates according to this. The teachers from last time, their favorite thing was this, which is the International Student Festival. So during that week, it's called International Education Week, and that was determined by the Department of State years ago. And so that week, every university tries to set up and organize events that are international, say. And so there'll be all kinds of talks and things, but what we put together is a festival called the International Student Festival. I have some Colombian dresses that I can lend you, not dresses, like skirts and tops, and even some things for the guys. And I have some sombreros volteados that you guys can use. But it'd be really nice if you brought some stuff, because we don't have enough for 60 of you to wear. And if you thought about what would you like to bring to share about the Colombian culture, you will be given a table or two, and we have a big multi-purpose room. And that afternoon from 5 to 7, you will be showcasing, along with another 25 countries, Colombia. So think about what music you would like to play for them, food, crafts. I have some things, but it's really nice if you guys can bring some things too, to showcase Colombia and be able to talk about it and be able to prepare some food, maybe make some arepas or some buñuelos, or bring some arequipe, bring some, I don't know,
something.
Bocadillos. I don't
Tastes good.
Bring
Give
some
them little taste, so not
little
big
tiny
things. 'Cause there
things.
could be over
There could be 300, 400 people there.
students or people. Yeah, yeah.
So that's a really exciting thing that we have planned for when you're going to be here. Okay. Is the town safe? It's very safe. It's so safe that we have policemen on bicycles giving tickets because they're looking for something to do. That's why making sure you follow the rules is really important. Oh, that would be something that's different. you can't just go through stop signs like we do in Colombia. You can't just drive through lights, red lights. You have to make sure that you stop and you wait until it's green. They give tickets even if you just slow down and then you start going again on your bicycle. They will give you a ticket, and the tickets are really expensive, like $250. So that's one thing that you have to be very careful about. And another thing is, crossing the street, you need to make sure that you're looking both ways and you're pressing the button to be able to cross, and the light says, yes, you can cross now. So the town is really safe.
Mm-hmm.
As Mary said, though, you should always be, at night especially, accompanied by at least one more person.
Right. And
Don't go alone.
And just, of course, be aware of your surroundings. I mean, the downtown is well lit. Most of the campus is well lit. But still, just to be careful and aware, of your surroundings and not feeling like you're being followed or anything like that. I mean, it's not usual. The other thing, the one kind of crime there is in Davis is bike theft, people stealing bicycles. So what we'll talk about is how important it is to always lock your bicycle, because that is a problem in Davis, is people coming in and stealing bicycles, and then you have to pay for the replacements. So that is something to always be aware of. But otherwise, I would say it's a very safe.
Very
place.
safe. Very safe. All right. The next question is, I want to bring a present for my host family. Could you please give me some ideas? I don't know. I think, coffee is always a really good thing because Colombian coffee is so famous.
I was thinking food,
Coffee.
kind of food in general, something that would be
Any kind, like bocadillos or arequipe or obleas or anything like that is like so delicious. I think most people really like those kinds of things. Panelitas, any of that kind of stuff. Even just like little artesanías, little
Like
arts and crafts,
like
kinds
little
of things.
magnets for the refrigerator, or
keychains. Like one of the teachers last year gave me this keychain, and I use it all the time. See? Whoops. I use it I use it on my purse. So
just little things.
they're not expecting anything big. So
No.
it could be just a little Juan Valdez coffee thing, or
Yeah.
All right, a little mola, that could be too. All right, so
Akina, we have 15 minutes left to answer all the questions, because once the time has gone, the program time has gotten to an end, the platform automatically finishes.
off.
Okay, so get those questions
all right.
in really fast.
Okay, we can't see all the questions. We can only see one at a time. So we're like,
So
all
how
right.
many students?
So the next one, how many students are there per class?
15.
Moving now. Can't hear well. Oh, I'm sorry. Deanna can't hear well.
I'm going to read the questions. I would like to consider that that academical work is important for us, but to improve the language, the best is interact with a kind of speakers, which implies to have more extracurriculum activities or chances to share with people on the streets, to have real immersion with the cultural aspects. That's right, Edgar. Tina, at the beginning of our webinar, just told us that invite us to interact with everyone in the streets, go to farmer markets, go to the store, try not to be with all your fellows speaking Spanish, make an effort to speak English with even with your partners. Are the teachers going to?
And one more thing, Felipe, on that point, when we started this last year, the ministry actually was asking us to give you 8 hours of class a day. And I said, there's no way. When will they be able to reflect? When will they be able to
people
interact? When will they sleep? You know, it's like, so we cut it down more than what the ministry wanted, because they said we're paying them for 8 hours. But the fact is, you're doing homework, you're doing your projects, you're doing your portfolios. So we thought the number of hours we had was plenty and even too much. But we did it we did our proposal according to what we were asked to do. So but I really think that you do need to take advantage of every minute you have to be talking to people and trying out your English and learning how people interact here and learning what the communication styles are and seeing what's different about how people interact in Colombia versus the way people interact here. That'll be important.
Next questions. Are the teachers going to grade our performance in class?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to ask about the cultural demonstrations we have to show for Students' Day.
So usually, you know, we have, 25 different countries, and maybe 5 or 6 of them will want to actually dance for everyone. And I always push the Colombians, you have to dance for us. And people love salsa, and there's actually a place called The Graduate where they dance salsa on Tuesday and Thursday nights, and they teach salsa classes and all of that. So a lot of our students from, China, Japan, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, they all go there to see how people dance, and it's like an opportunity for them. So the cumbia, last year they did something from Ibagué or something. I can't remember what dance they did. You can do any dance you want. I think cumbia is something that's so typical of Colombia. If you can do a cumbia, you can do a salsa, and you can do one other dance maybe. That'll be great. People will love it. And then if you invite people to come in and continue dancing with you so that they can try it, that would be wonderful. And then the rest is just, sharing different food and sharing.
Or you have pictures,
having
to
a
people.
laptop up opened, and you can show pictures of Colombia.
If people kind of just walk by the tables and just kind of wander around, it's not like real formal, like you do this or this or this. It just kind of people walk around trying things, asking questions,
and we'll have about
talking to each other.
30 tables or something, or 25 tables. There's even an American table, and the teachers are there doing that. And so you guys will take turns, maybe 5 or 10 of you at a table, at the Colombian table at one time, and then you guys can all go around and look at what else is going on, and another 10 will be there to represent and to talk about Colombia. So you're there to talk about.
It's just 2 hours long, so it's not too long.
The next question is a question that I would like to answer, and it is, does the J1 visa have another advantage before studying? Well, actually, the J1 visa has more restrictions than advices, than advantages. But the main advantage it has is that once you have a J1 visa, it's easier to get a tourist visa. The next question is, I was exploring the UC Davis webpage, and I didn't get what the term Aggie means.
That's a good
It's a
question.
great question.
Well, originally UC Davis was it started as an agricultural college. It was kind of the agricultural college for UC Berkeley over 100 years ago. And so I think Aggie is kind of the shortened form nickname for agriculture. So, but an Aggie it's not a thing exactly. So, but I think it's kind of a play on agriculture.
And each university has its
Like a
name.
yeah.
It's like a mascot. And so ours is Aggie,
Yeah.
How long is San Francisco from Davis?
So San Francisco, driving in a car is usually about an hour and 20 minutes. If you take the train, it's longer.
Maybe a
more
couple hours. It
complicated.
depends on traffic. So anywhere between an hour and a half, 2 hours,
Yeah.
depending on traffic.
It's really close. We don't do anything for Veterans Day.
No.
I laughed at your question. It depends on who's driving.
Yeah. So Veterans Day there are sometimes it's meant,
Parades.
yeah, there can be parades. There might be ceremonies in cemeteries, people that are veterans that have died. But so other than that, there isn't like special foods or special kind of events
Celebration.
other than that. Yeah.
But you have the day off.
Yeah. It's
Take
typically when people
advantage.
travel or do something
Yeah,
else.
do something. Go somewhere. All right. And the next question is, could you talk about the food? Well, I think it's going to be really different for most of you than what you're used to. And I know the group last year, there were some who just bitterly, bitterly complained because they didn't want to eat sandwiches. And in the United States, everyone eats sandwiches for lunch.
It's not a big meal. It's not the big meal
No,
of the day. That's
lunch
at night.
is tiny.
Yeah.
And so because you're going to be with the families, they're going to probably buy the things for you to make your sandwich. And they're going to say, here's all your stuff for making the
Fruit or
sandwich.
whatever else.
So they'll
along
maybe
with it.
have an apple, maybe some potato chips, a sandwich, something
Maybe
to
a
drink,
cookie,
maybe
something
a
to-
cookie, and you're done.
Sometimes it's some leftover foods too. I think it's important to ask your host families if you can go shopping with them, and then together you can kind of get the foods that you like, because typically for a lot of American families, you're on your own for lunch, breakfast, and lunch. You make your own breakfast, you make your own lunch, and then the host family prepares the dinner, sometimes all together, sometimes just the mother or the woman. It just depends. But they're expecting you to kind of take care. They provide the food, but you kind of put together your breakfast and lunch most of the time. So it's important, if you like certain fruits or vegetables or don't like certain things, to go shopping with your host family so that you can get the kinds of foods that you like.
And for breakfast, a lot of people here just have a cup of coffee, or they'll have a cup of coffee and something sweet,
Or toast, cereal,
or cereal. And
sometimes
that's,
eggs.
Yeah, and eggs not so often.
Sometimes.
And so that's something you'll have to. And remember, you guys are here for 3 weeks. So the rest of your life, you can have your Colombian, whatever you like to eat, the meat with the this, with the that, with the potatoes, with the. But here, it's different. Most families eat sandwiches for lunch and cereal for breakfast.
And there's going to be a wide range of what families will do, and you'll find that out too. Some families, people eat this. Other times, people eat that. And the fact is some host families are ethnically from another country. So you might get a lot of Chinese food or Thai food or other kinds of foods. So that's the other thing too. It's not like it's going to be standardized in any way.
And a family can be one mother and that's it. It can be a mother, a father, 2 kids and a dog. It can be 2 mothers and children. It can be 2 family in the United States, that's another one of those cultural things that you're going to, who knows what you will get, as your family. They change.
As we only have about 5 minutes left, I have choose 4 questions that must be answered like really quick.
Okay.
What's the percentage of Spanish-speaking population in Davis?
And you want this quick?
We do have a Spanish immersion elementary school. I think the overall population of people who speak Spanish is maybe like 10?
Maybe 10%. We don't have a lot of native Spanish speakers here. It's a university town, and so it's not your typical population. But I think a lot of people in California know something in Spanish, not that they actually speak it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it really depends.
It's
not a typical city.
Now,
if you go
to Woodland, if you live in Woodland, you'll hear Spanish
a lot more.
Yeah,
and it could be what? 40% or something.
40-50%.
So it kind of depends.
Yeah.
And Woodland is a very agricultural town or city, and so you have a lot more of a Mexican population, and so there's more Spanish spoken.
Okay, next questions. Are we going to be divided into groups for taking classes? Yes,
Yeah.
you will.
Four
Four.
sections.
That was quick.
What kind of souvenirs can we bring to Colombia from your place?
You know, a lot of people, I'm always interested to see what students bring back. A lot of times they bring back chocolate, but I can imagine that's not so special.
But it's different.
But it's
Chocolate's
different. So any kind of food, I think, is probably interesting. We have an outlet mall not far from us in Vacaville. A lot of times students will go and get,
Take a bus there.
yeah, and it's outlets. The prices are pretty good. T-shirts. A lot of students will buy T-shirts.
T-shirts is a good one.
Again, kind of what you'd be bringing. Keychains, magnets, food. It's kind of what you would be bringing here would be what you would take back, I can imagine.
You're gonna see a lot of crazy Halloween things and also Christmas things by the day you're gonna be there.
And the other
Yeah.
thing that a lot of students take back from here is they go to the Aggie store.
Oh yeah,
which
get
is-
UC
And
Davis.
they take UC Davis
T-hats,
hats and T-shirts,
sweatshirts.
and sweatshirts. That's a typical thing,
Mhm.
but they're
Okay,
expensive.
I'm gonna skip to the next question, and it is: can we travel to a different city near to Davis? I have some friends in Reno, and I think it is close to Davis. Can I visit them?
I think
on the
you
weekend,
can,
yeah, on the weekend.
especially Veterans Memorial Weekend.
You can take the train to Reno. It's probably about, well, to drive, it's about 3 hours, I think.
The last question is: how long is it to arrive to Los Angeles?
By driving, like 8 hours.
Driving 8 hours, train more.
Flying, hour and a
An
half.
hour and a half, yeah.
I think that was it.
Oh, perfect.
Somebody
1
said
minute.
it was really nice to meet you today. Thank you. It was really nice meeting you all. We didn't get to see you all, but we will
Look
soon.
forward to seeing you soon.
You guys, it's going to be a great experience. We're looking forward to seeing all of you and helping you every way we can, and then it'll be a lifetime friendship. We'll see you forever after that. Have a really safe trip,
Yep.
everybody. If you have any other questions, let Felipe know. I
I'm
can,
happy to answer.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yay.
you very, very much.
So nice to meet you, Felipe, in person. Take care, everybody.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. That was really good. Good evening. Thank you.